Hi Angel Besties, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Rachel, how are we? Welcome to today's reading vlog. I gotta be honest with you guys, I was not planning on initially doing a reading vlog at this point in the month. Today is Monday, June 26th, it's actually the evening, so the day's almost over, and I've decided I'm just gonna vlog the rest of the month, which is kind of the next 4 days. Friday, June 30th is the last day of the month, and I do have a few books that I want to get read before June is over. I don't know if I'm necessarily gonna be sticking to my June TBR or if I'm just kind of going to mood read through the week, but I thought it would be fun to take you all along while I do that and just see what happens. So this is just gonna be like a chill, hang out, let's read some books reading vlog. I do want to let you guys know what I am currently in the middle of, more like what I'm currently almost done with. That is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I am, I think, like 80% of the way done with this book. I say I think because I've been listening to it on audio. The audiobook is fantastic for this, by the way, and so I'm not entirely sure what page I'm on, but I just have to say this book is fantastic. I am feeling so many feelings. I have felt very overwhelmed with emotions and sadness and happiness and grief for these characters. And truly, I think this book is so special. I totally get why this book had so much hype last year when it came out, why so many people loved it. I can't believe I put this book off for so long. If you don't know what this book is about, it's kind of like contemporary fiction, and it follows the lives of two friends. They met when they were kids, they kind of lost touch, but then reconnected in college, and they always had a love for video games. So when they're in college and a bit older, they decide to create a video game together, and it ends up doing really well. They end up forming a company, continue to make video games together, and we kind of just follow their lives and careers. It does remind me a little bit of The Social Network, that movie that kind of chronicles Mark Zuckerberg's experience in college creating Facebook and what happened after that. This more focuses just on the characters, I would say, than plot-wise. It's a very character-driven story, but that is okay because I love that, and I am obsessed with our two main characters, Sadie and Sam. They are very well written. I think that they are such rich characters that really leap off the page. Their dynamic with each other and their dynamic with other people I think is really fascinating, and I'm just really loving this book. So basically my plan with this book, I have about 2 hours, a little less than, of the audiobook for Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, and I would like to finish it tonight. That is the plan for this evening. If I can get this book completed today, that would be really great. Then I'll start something new tonight and just kind of continue on and see how many books I can get read this week. So I do have a package, which I'm excited about and I want to open with you guys. It's not bookish, it's completely random, but I just wanted to show you guys because I'm excited about it. So quick story time. I had a Stanley cup and I dropped it outside and it dented really badly, so it just wasn't really usable anymore, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna buy another one, because that truly was like my emotional support water bottle, emotional support tumbler, whatever you want to call it. I use that thing so much, and so I decided to buy another, and I actually found a cuter one. I was gonna buy the exact same one that I had before, which was kind of this like dark pink, but then I found a cuter one online, so I'm excited to show you guys that. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Can you guess what color it is? You might already be able to tell. It is a pink, kind of like tie-dye white and pink Stanley cup, and it's so cute. Also, it has a clear top and a clear straw. My other one didn't. It was kind of like this white opaque top and straw, but I think that that's super cute. So I think that's gonna be it for now. I'm gonna go rinse this off, put some water in it, finish Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. The house is kind of a mess right now. I think I'm gonna clean up a bit, and when I'm done with Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, I will either tell you guys my thoughts later this evening or tomorrow. So that is gonna be it for now. So I will just talk to you guys later. Hello bestie queens, how are we? We are in my kitchen for a reading update. It is 10:30 in the evening. My hair is questionable at this hour, but I had to talk to you guys because I just finished a book and Goodreads is not working. It's completely malfunctioning, so I can't do a reading update there. So I'm coming to you all so that I can get my thoughts out. I finished Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, or did it finish me? I can't, like, it's hard. I'm still in like that post-book high kind of moment, but truly I think that this book is so incredible. This book was so emotional. This book was so, like, the characters were so visceral. Their experiences were so visceral. You know what I mean? I think this is one of the best, if not the best, character-driven writing that I have ever read. I felt everything that these characters felt. They went through so much. They went through heartbreak. They went through death, love, inner struggles, fighting between one another, complicated relationships with others, family issues. So many things happen in this book, and I truly feel like this book could have been like 300 pages longer because I just want to know what happens next with them. I want to stick with Sadie and Sam forever. I have just absolutely fallen in love with these characters, and when you have a character-driven story, that's really all you can hope for. I just think this writing was beautiful. This is one of the most unique books that I have ever read. It is a book that I think will stick with me for a long time. This is one of those books that I'm just like, I feel like privileged to have read this story. Like, it's just so incredible and so well done. I have absolutely nothing negative to say about it. It's one of those books where like you finish it and I don't feel that like excitement of like, oh my God, I just finished this book and it's so amazing. I just feel this almost like sadness kind of washing over me that this book is over, but also just like, wow, I can't believe that I just experienced this. It's a lot to digest because there was a lot of sad things that happened. There was a lot of relatable moments. There was a lot of learning moments. Like, I think this is brilliant. This was like a very, very popular book last year, so I'm like the last person on earth to be giving you guys this recommendation, but this was amazing. I think that this book is definitely going to be like a best book of the year for me. I just, oh my God, I just love Sam and Sadie so much, and their story was so interesting. It was such a unique book, and even like the video game aspect, which your girl, surprise to no one, is not a gamer. Never have been, never probably will be. I did play Zelda for like a little bit when I was a kid, but then I got scared by the game, so I like stopped playing it. But even as someone who is not a gamer, I thought that the gaming aspects were super interesting. Really, really cool. I loved learning about that. Like, I was really into it. This book will really hit you in your heart and make you hurt and make you feel things. I just thought that this was stunning, like a stunning piece of work, and I really, really recommend if you like character-driven stories, if you like following the same characters over years and years and watching them grow, become adults, see what they go through. They kind of weave in and out of each other's lives. Like, oh my God, it was so good. And like, I loved the ending, but I also hated the way that it ended because like, yeah, I am, of course, giving this book a 5-star rating. I can't update Goodreads right now because it's malfunctioning, so I'm updating you guys. I'm giving this a 5-star rating. I mean, I can't say it enough. It's just so unique. It's so cool. I'm so glad I read this. Thank you so much to my mother-in-law for telling me every time she saw me, you need to pick up tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. When are you gonna read that? Wow. I can't believe I waited so long to read this, but I definitely recommend. This was so cool. This was so good. Also, the audiobook was really, really well done. The NPC section of the book, so well written. Oh my God. Also, the pioneers section, that was such a cool addition. This is not just like a straightforward generational saga following two friends falling in and out with each other. The way that this author wrote this book and the way that this author wrote certain events in their lives, really unique, really well done. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. My brain has been melted by this book, and it was a pleasure. So I really, really loved this and absolutely recommend. So now the question is, what do I read next? See, I finished this book and I feel like on a high and I want to keep reading, even though it is 10:40 now in the evening and I should probably be going to bed. I don't want to. So I think I'm gonna stay up and like start something. So I grabbed some books from my bookshelf that I'm thinking about reading, and I'll tell you guys kind of my thought process with them. So number one, something off my TBR that I am excited to get to, which is A Taste of Golden Iron by Alexandra Rowland. Fantasy romance, male. I think it's like Prince Bodyguard, which like I love the bodyguard royal person dynamic. I just think it's amazing. It's not done enough, particularly in fantasy. I want to see it more. So I could pick this up, and this is definitely a heavy contender. Jade War. Yeah, I really, really want to read this. I just don't know if my brain is ready for this right now at this time. Like, should I read another book before I get to this one, something a little bit lighter? Just because I know that this book is going to be heavy. I'm also so hot, so that's why I'm doing this. I know that this book is going to be heavy and it's probably going to hurt my feelings. So I feel like maybe I should read something a little lighter, a little more fun before I get there. Maybe, question mark. But I do really want to read this. I'm excited to continue on with the Greenbone saga. So she's a contender as well. This next book, not on my TBR, came out recently and I am intrigued by it, is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. When this book came out, I decided to pick up a copy just because I did really love Love on the Brain when I read it last year. And I was like, you know what? This might be a fun time. Ali Hazelwood's books, for me, so far it's been 50-50. I did not like The Love Hypothesis, but I did like Love on the Brain. I am kind of curious to see what I would think. And I feel like for just like a fun rom-com, palette cleanser, no thoughts, just vibes moment, this could be kind of cute. I don't know. But then, I mean, my July TBR doesn't really have romance on it, so I think this will probably be one of the last romances I pick up for a while if I do pick this up. So this is a contender as well. And then I also have The Fiancé Farce by Alexandria Bellafleur, which is a sapphic fake dating romance, maybe fake marriage or fake proposal romance. So this author wrote Written in the Stars, which is a 5-star sapphic romance for me. It's based in Seattle. I absolutely love that book. And this is the start of a new series for her. And I'm kind of just thinking like, okay, maybe I should just pick up a contemporary romance for the last few days of June just to be a little bit of, as I said, a palate cleanser before I dive into either A Taste of Golden Iron or Jade Wart. I don't really know. I also need to read Throne of Glass this week. There's no way, I mean, there's no way. Like I'm not gonna act like I'm gonna read all these books. These are kind of just the contenders. I really thought I was gonna read my entire TBR this month, but that is not going to happen. But here's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm gonna think it over while I do some skincare and maybe take a bath. Yeah, that's probably gonna be it for me for this evening. I will check in with you guys tomorrow with whatever I decided to start reading and let you know how that book is going. Hi friends, happy Tuesday. Welcome to my car. This is my first time car vlogging. I bought like a whole, tripod situation for my car. It did not work, so you're now just sitting on my dashboard with just like this little thing holding you in place. So fingers crossed you guys don't go tumbling to the ground. This is super fun. I am a little anxious about someone walking by and seeing me doing this, so let's get straight into it. I have just been running errands today and I wanted to stop and talk to you all and let you know how my reading is going. So last night I started A Taste of Golden Iron by Alexandra Rowland, and I read about 50 pages last night and then I read about 50 more pages today. So I'm a little bit past the 100-page mark, but unfortunately, I'm having issues with this book. There are positives and there are negatives. The positives are I really love the characters. Our main character, Prince Kadu, is a very relatable character. He is anxious. He is unsure of his place in the royal family. He doesn't really have a huge desire for power and responsibility, but he also has, this desire to make his sister proud and happy. She is the current emperor, but he just struggles with his own desires and then family duty and all of that. And I think that he's a very fun character to root for. He's also very funny, and his internal monologue is like very relatable. I really, really like that. I like how that's all written. And essentially what happens in this book is Kadu and the father of his sister's child, they kind of get into it, and he really needs to make it up to his sister. One of the royal guilds, I guess, gets broken into, and they have a lot of top secret information in there. And he's like, hey sis, I will lead the charge on this. I will investigate it. I'll get some people going and we'll figure this out. But it's not really going as planned. And meanwhile, he also has been assigned a new bodyguard, and his name is Evamar, I believe it's pronounced. And Evamar is very no nonsense, very straight laced. So the two of them really balance each other out very nicely. And their dynamic is very fun thus far. So here's my thing. I like the characters. I think the setup is understandable enough. I don't really like the writing style though. I'm not vibing with it. I don't feel like this book flows nicely. I feel like it's a little bit choppy. I feel taken out of the story. I don't know what it is, but I just can't get into it the way that I normally do. And while I do really like the characters, I'm still kind of unsure of the plot and where things are going. Like, I understand the plot on like a basic level, but the descriptions of all these places and kingdoms and, the powers that be and politics and all of that. And essentially it's getting to a point where I think I'm gonna put this book down just for a little bit. This isn't going to be like a hard DNF because I do really like the characters and I want to see this romance through. I'm liking where things are going. I really like this opposites attract thing that we have going between Kadu and Evamar, but the plot is just, I don't know, it's not working for me right now. I'm not fully connecting. The writing style and the plot, I think, are just kind of two things that I am not fully engaged with. And so I'm just gonna put this book down, but I do want to pick this up at a later date, I think, when I'm in the mood for this. I don't know what it is, but I'm just not connecting to the writing style right now. But I do see the potential and promise that this book has. So I'm gonna put it down for now, but I will hopefully pick this back up soon. I would love if you've read this. Could you kind of give me your thoughts on it? Did you feel like, oh, it takes a little bit to get into it, but then you might end up liking it? Or was it kind of an instant love for you and maybe this this just isn't the book for me. I don't know, but this has promise, but I'm just gonna put it down for now because I just want to, you know, read books that I'm really excited about, especially after coming off the high of Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I just want to read books that I'm really enjoying. So just gonna put this down for now. After deciding to put down A Taste of Golden Iron, I decided to pick up The Fiancé Farce by Alexandra Bellafleur. I am enjoying this so much. This is so cute, you guys. Oh my god, I'm so happy reading this. It is another sapphic romance set in Seattle by Alexandria Bellafleur. So obviously she's a PNW girly, which I love, and this book has a very fun premise. So essentially our main character's name is Tansy, and Tansy has been saying that she has this girlfriend named Gemma, and she's just been doing this to get her family off her back because she doesn't want them to ask, when are you gonna get married? Why don't you have a girlfriend, a boyfriend? What are you doing? What are you doing with your life? So she's been pretending to have this girlfriend named Gemma, and she is at her step cousin's wedding. She ended up showing someone in her family like a picture of this book cover model that she thought was really pretty, and she was like, oh yeah, this is Gemma, like this is my girlfriend, whatever. Well, that book cover model, whose name is Gemma, ends up walking into the wedding. So the family's like, oh my god, this is your girlfriend that you've been hiding from us, you know, for 6 months now. Let's all go say hi and talk to her. Tansy is obviously dying inside because she's like, oh my god, what are the odds? This is insane. But Gemma is very quick on her feet and plays along because Gemma has ulterior motives as well, and Gemma sees how this kind of fake dating and then what turns into a fake proposal can work for her. So essentially Gemma is a part of this publishing family, and her grandfather, who recently passed away, left the entire company to Gemma, but only if she gets married, which, you know, they all think, okay, this is a very antiquated stipulation in the contract, but she, you know, has to go through with it because she really, really wants the company. She doesn't want it to fall to the next person in line. So she has been trying to find a partner to marry, someone that she can convince to marry her. And when she sees that Tansy, who is like just so embarrassed, just like blushing, like, oh my god, this woman probably thinks that I'm crazy, Gemma's like, no, this can actually work. So she plays along and she tells Tansy, hey, this is my situation. I do actually need a spouse. You have been sort of lying to your family about my presence in your life, so maybe we can make this work for one another. And Gemma also tells Tansy that like, hey, I will help you out in any way that I can. Please just do this for me because I really want the company. I really want to be the owner of it, and I'll do anything for you to marry me. Also, while all this is happening, Tansy, who works at a bookstore that her dad owned and she grew up in, is potentially going to be sold. And so Tansy goes, well, if Gemma can give me a check for like $6 million so that I can buy the bookstore so I can save it from this like corporate, you know, company that wants to buy it. So it kind of gives me like You've Got Mail vibes. But she's like, if Gemma is willing to give me money to kind of back my purchase of this bookstore so I can keep it in my family, I will marry her. So that's kind of their agreement right now. And I just think that this book is so cute. The action starts right away. I really like Gemma. She's this uber confident kind of rich heiress, but I think that she's like also has like a really good heart. She's very funny. She's very sarcastic. I imagine Blake Lively when I think of her because that's kind of how she's described. I don't know. She just gives me Blake Lively vibes. And then Tansy is like very nervous and shy and very bookish and like can't believe that Gemma is like willing to go through with this, but she's just kind of along for the ride. And I think that they are like a very, very cute couple. So I'm having a ton of fun with this. I also love one of Gemma's roommates. I forget his name. Oh my god, I love him so much. He's British and he's fantastic and he is everything to me. So needless to say, this is going very well. This is super fun. I feel like this is going to be a really nice palette cleanser for the week, and I'm just really enjoying it. And I'm so excited. And I feel like, you know, I've only read one other book by this author, but it was Written in the Stars, which I feel like is one of her earlier books. And I feel like you can already kind of see like the improvement in writing. Not that it was ever bad before, but it's just, I'm really, really enjoying this. So that is the update for now. Yeah, I'm gonna put down Taste of Golden Iron for now. I'm gonna keep reading The Fiancé Farce, and then we shall see what I pick up next. But I don't know, I might fly through this today, you guys, because I'm really, really liking it. It's super cute. I've been listening to it while I've been working, and I'm really enjoying it. I am going to probably go home, keep doing a little bit of work, and then maybe go to the gym, keep reading, do all those fun things, and I'll probably talk to you guys either later today or tomorrow with another reading update. Hello friends, how are we? Happy Thursday. We are getting to the end of the month here, which means we are getting to the end of this vlog, and I have many things to update you on. So yesterday I ended up finishing The Fiancé Farce, and then after that I didn't do much reading for the rest of the day because I did go to dinner with my childhood best friend and it was super, super fun. So I just didn't vlog yesterday because I had things going on. But I have finished this book, and then I have started another, and then I also want to start another before the month is over. We'll see how that goes. Very quickly, I just wanted to give you guys my final thoughts on The Fiancé Farce. This was so cute, so happy. I was smiling like an idiot through most of this book. I just think that this book gave me so much joy, and it was just such a fun read. It truly reads like an early 2000s rom-com, you know, where like things are really fun, stakes are low, we're just having a good time, people are falling in love, there's like little pranks happening. I was super, super into it. Also, it's based in Seattle, and it was so cool. Like so many of the things that the author wrote about Seattle and the places that they went, I was like, oh my God, I've been there. I've done that. What the hell? This is crazy. So I did really enjoy this book, and the spice was very good as well. I feel like it was a little bit spicier than Written in the Stars, but it was very good. I will say though, I'm giving this book 4 stars, and I'm only docking points because I wish that it was a little bit harder for our 2 love interests to fall for each other. There is tension, but what I like about marriage of convenience or fake dating is 2 people kind of thrown into the situation, kind of begrudgingly teaming up and being like, oh, I don't really like you, but we're being thrown into these situations where we have to act like we like each other, and then, oh, am I actually into you as I'm pretending to be into you? You know what I mean? I just wish that it was a little bit harder for these 2 to fall for each other, because I'm telling you, it's not very hard for them to start really having feelings for one another, which is okay, but I think it takes just some of the anticipation out of the book. So that is what I am docking points for. It's not a perfect romance, but I think that if you just want like a very happy, fun, full of love, like very sweet, wholesome, not like too wholesome though, because as I said, it was a little bit spicy. I don't know. This book is just like, it's happiness. It's joy. You should read it. It was amazing. This would be like the perfect like summer day or like summer vacation book. Really amazing characters to root for. Really beautiful love story, fun side characters. I just thought it was really cute. So 4-star read, definitely another hit by this author. All right, so here are the plans for the next, let's see, it is 4/11 on Thursday, June 29th. So I have like a day and a half left of the month that I will be reading, right? So let's talk about what I'm going to try to fit in. I might be delusional. We might be entering delusional hours here, but let's give it a shot. So number 1, the book that I've already started is Throne of Glass. I am doing a reread of the entire Throne of Glass series, and I was actually supposed to read a Throne of Glass last month, didn't get to it, and now I am picking it up on the second to last day of the month, but I really want to stay on schedule with that reread that I'm doing because I am planning to reread all of Sarah's books before House of Flame and Shadow comes out, and I have my schedule like in my head of what books I want to read when, and if I get too behind on this, it's gonna throw me off all the way like into January. So I'm definitely going to make this book my priority for today and for tomorrow. I am not quite halfway. I'm like 10 pages away from halfway, so I'm halfway through the book, and I'm not gonna talk too much in depth in this vlog about this because I am vlogging my entire Throne of Glass series reread, full spoilery reading vlog, but I did just want to say I'm having so much fun. I love this series so much. It is like just serotonin coursing through my veins. Like oh my God, there's like, I just love it. I love the series so much, even though I definitely prefer the latter half of the Throne of Glass series, obviously. Like, definitely the later books are better, but this is so fun too. Like, it's very innocent, very early times. I just love it. I'm so happy reading this. So I am going to continue with my reread of this, and I have like 2.5 hours left of the audiobook. So honestly, I could finish this tonight, or I just might save it and finish the rest of it tomorrow, but this will definitely get done before the month is over, which is fantastic. And then here's where the delusion comes in, okay? I am contemplating if I can squeeze in Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. See, the thing is, I'm kind of moving out of reading contemporary romance on the reg, right? I think I'm just gonna pick it up whenever I feel like it, you know, every few months, whatever. This is a book that, since it just recently came out, it's been on my mind, and I'm like, well, if I'm gonna read this, I should read it now. I feel like this is just, you know, my interest has peaked at the moment, and I'm afraid if I don't pick this up, like I won't pick it up for several months. And I like Ali Hazelwood's well, that's not true. I was about to make a completely false statement. I am a liar. I liked one of Ali Hazelwood's books that she has put out, and that book was Love on the Brain. I did not like The Love Hypothesis, but I really liked Love on the Brain purely for, it was just like very happy, very fun, like not that deep, just very cute. And I'm hoping that this book will follow that as well. And I can just enjoy this as like a fun little palette cleanser and kind of get me all set and ready and like clean slate before I dive into my July TBR, which is all like 500+ page fantasy books, which I'm like very excited about, really wanting that. But this might be a fun time for the laughs, right? So I'm going to attempt to read both of these books by 11:59 tomorrow night, which is Friday, June 30th. I think I can do it. I think if I read just a little bit more of this tonight and then start this, I know I'm gonna fly through this just because I always fly through romances for the most part. If they are fun and light the way that Ali Hazelwood has written in the past, I think that I could get through this pretty quickly. Not rushing in any way, but I just think rom-coms are just, you know, you can just fly through them very easily. I don't know. So I'm going to attempt. I love the colors of these books. I'm going to attempt to read both of these. If I can read both of these, stunning, amazing. I will be so proud of myself if I can do that. So that is the plan for the evening, besties. And I think I'm gonna be able to do it. I think I'm gonna do a lot of reading tonight and tomorrow. And then that brings me to my next part of the vlog here. We are going to Barnes & Noble, besties, because I'm doing a 24-hour readathon on Saturday. And I was looking at my TBR for July, and I just don't know if anything on my TBR is going to be like, you know, you have to be strategic when you do a 24-hour readathon, right? You don't want to be like, I'm going to sit down and read a 600-page fantasy book. I mean, you can do that, but you might not be very successful in getting multiple books read. And so I was like, okay, maybe I should read something else. What a concept. And I have this like list on my phone of like books that I want to buy, like whenever I'm, you know, the mood strikes, so to speak. And I have 2 books that have been on my mind that I'm like, oh, those would be good for 24-hour readathons. So the first one is going to be Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. So I mentioned Shatter Me in my July TBR because I'm going to be reading This Woven Kingdom by Tahereh Mafi, and I was like, oh, you know, this author wrote the Shatter Me series, and I was like, should I read this? And I did have multiple people say, yes, you should read that series because it has so much hype, and I'm not expecting it to be like mind-blowing amazing, but I think it could be like a fun time, and I feel left out of the Shatter Me Club. So I want to start that series, and that's a pretty short book, so I feel like, okay, that is great for a 24-hour readathon. So I want to go to Barnes and pick up Shatter Me, and then I also want to pick up, I don't think this is like a very new release from this author, but Holly Jackson put out 5 Survive, which is like a YA mystery thriller, and Holly Jackson wrote A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I love that trilogy. I really do. I had so much fun reading that, and once again, a very good type of book to read for a 24-hour readathon. So I think I might read those 2 this weekend, and I want to go physically buy them because why not? So I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna get in my car and hop on over to Barnes and see what we can find. And then maybe if anything else strikes my interest, I'll pick it up. But I think definitely those 2 books are what I'm going to hopefully get. So that is going to be it for this check-in. I don't know if I'll talk to you again tonight. Kind of as I said, I'm gonna read both of these, keep reading this, start this. I'm going to Barnes, I'm gonna eat dinner. I might go to the gym. I don't know, it's so nice out, you guys. It's like 80+ degrees. It's beautiful. And so I should be outside. I should be outside, like going on a walk. I absolutely love a hot girl walk. That is like my favorite thing to do, literally. Other than read, like walking outside is one of my hobbies. Tragic, I know. But allergies are really just like kicking my ass. The older I get, it's interesting. Each year that I get older, my allergies get worse, which is fun. But I have started taking allergy meds like on the reg, and so I'm thinking, okay, maybe they won't hit me as bad. But I haven't been like outside as much lately because I've just been so afraid, because when my allergies hit really bad, I feel like I have the flu. The next day it's terrible. My sinuses, everything, it's really awful. Then I realize like, girl, you're taking allergy meds for what? You're not going outside. Like, I mean, I go outside like a little bit. Normally I take like 4 or 5 mile walks. And so I'm just taking allergy meds like they're candy and not even reaping the benefits. So we might test the allergy meds tonight. I'm just so afraid of them like not fully working and then waking up tomorrow and feeling gross. So I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, it's gonna be a pretty basic night here at my house. So I'm gonna be reading, I'm gonna go to Barnes, I'm gonna eat dinner, I'm going to work out in some capacity. So that is going to be it for me for now. I'm signing off until later. I will either talk to you guys tonight or tomorrow morning, and I will give you reading updates. But for now, let's go to Barnes. friends, happy Friday night, I shall say. So it is Friday, June 30th, and it is about 9:30 p.m. So doing a little bit of late night filming. I had a super crazy day with work, and then I ended up finishing 2 books today. I did it, you guys. I'm so proud of myself, and I wanted to give you a final update for this reading vlog. Before I do that, I do want to show you what I got at Barnes & Noble. As you saw in the B-roll, I just went there and I picked up the 2 books that I said I was going to pick up, but of course I picked up a couple others as well. So let's just do a quick little Barnes haul. Okay, so number 1, I got Shatter Me, which I'm really excited to start this. I don't really know what I'm gonna think about this. I truly don't even really know what this book is about. I know it's a YA dystopian series, and I've just heard good things. I've heard mixed things, I guess. I don't really know, but I'm going in super open-minded. I hope that I like this. I'm actually gonna be reading this tomorrow because I'm doing a 24-hour readathon starting tomorrow morning, and I think this will probably be the first book that I pick up. So if you're curious on my thoughts, that vlog is coming. And then I also picked up 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. So this is Holly Jackson's newest book, and the premise of this book sounds really, really fun. 6 friends go on a road trip, and then their car breaks down, and they quickly realize that this was not an accident. It was kind of like a targeted attack, and they have to figure out which one of them is the target, or is one of them involved in some nefarious things. And I believe only 5 are going to survive the night. So sounds really interesting, really fun. This is like a YA thriller mystery, and I just think that these books are just a really good time, very entertaining, and I really like Holly Jackson's writing style. All right, and then the 2 bonus books that I bought. Number 1 is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. So TJ Klune's books, I've never read anything by him, but his books have always like kind of been in my periphery, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll pick up a TJ Klune book one day. But I had recently been talking about his books with Hannah at Hannah's Recent Reads. She really, really loves this book. Also Kara at Kara's Bookshelf. I know that she gave this 5 stars as well. And I've just heard overall very positive things about TJ Klune's books, that they're really impactful, really amazing. I think pretty unique stories as well. So I'm excited to start with his first book. I think this is his first book. And what is so cool about this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, and there are sprayed edges that are just super beautiful. Even the top is a little bit like ombre. I just think this is really gorgeous. So I'm excited to pick up his books. I really, really hope that I like them. I've been hearing really good things, and I think that I will mesh with his writing. So I'm very excited. All right, and then the very last book that I picked up from Barnes, it was totally random. Was not planning on reading this book anytime soon, but I saw it and I was like, you're coming home with me. And that is The Foxglove King by Hannah Whitten. So I haven't heard too much about this book. I've seen a few things here and there popping up on Bookstagram, all good, all positive reviews. And I just saw it and I was like, it's a fantasy romance. I gotta pick it up. I'm just so excited to see more indie published or like less known fantasy romances cropping up in Barnes & Noble. I also saw The Serpent and the Wings of Night and The Ashes and the Starcursed King by Carissa Broadbent in Barnes, and I'm so happy to see indie published, self-published authors in Barnes & Noble. It just makes me so happy, and I just love seeing fantasy romance just gaining so much more traction. I mean, it has been for years, obviously, but it's really good to see more authors in Barnes & Noble getting their books sold at, you know, kind of just more traditional stores. So very excited about this book. I truly don't know anything about it, but it is beautiful. And the end pages are the map, but colored. I just had to pick it up, you know, I had to. There's nothing I can do. I see a fantasy romance in Barnes & Noble, I'm gonna pick it up. That's the law. So I'm excited to read this. All right, so let's talk about the last 2 books that I read for this reading vlog for this last week of June. So very quickly, number 1, I finished Throne of Glass. I had a really good time reading this. Obviously, you guys know this is my 3rd time reading this book. It was so much fun. I love these characters to death. I just really loved being back in this world. I noticed a lot more things on this 3rd time around. I feel like every time I reread one of Sarah's books, I notice new things, and that's what makes it so fun, and that's what makes her books so rereadable. So this went very well, and I gave it 5 stars. All right, and then I think the last time we talked, I hadn't started Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I started this last night and I got about halfway through, and then I finished this book today. This book was interesting. I found myself super engaged and really enjoying it for the first half of the book, but the second half did lack a bit for me. I'm gonna try to go through the description of this book very quickly, but it is another STEM romance by Ali Hazelwood, and our main character, she is a theoretical physicist. She's working as an adjunct professor, which is not a job that she wants to be doing. She really wants to do more research and kind of step away from teaching, but this this is kind of the only job that she could get. She also on the side gets hired as a fake girlfriend. So she is a part of this app that men can go in and like hire her to be their fake girlfriend for like a night or a date or whatever. And that is kind of how she also makes money on the side. One of her favorite clients is this guy named Greg, and he's really, really sweet. She has been his fake girlfriend at a few events, and he has a brother named Jack who isn't very nice to her and is kind of suspicious of her. So she's always kind of had a contentious relationship with Greg's brother, but she thinks she doesn't really have to worry about that too much until she goes and interviews for a dream job at MIT. And when she goes to this kind of big group dinner interview with all these people who already work at MIT and who are going to be making the decision of whether she's going to be hired there or not, she sees Jack, who is an experimental physicist, and he actually goes by Jonathan at work, but then Jack is like what his family calls him, so that's why she didn't really know that this was the same person. And they see each other and are like, crap, okay, we have to maintain professionalism. We don't want to bring our personal lives into this situation, but also Jack is very concerned. He's like, you've been lying to my brother. Who are you? You lied about your career. You told us that you were a librarian, all these things. So they kind of have to navigate this awkward situation, but they are also kind of fighting feelings for one another, and the story takes off from there. So as I said, the first half of this book, I thought it was fun. I thought it was very classic Ali Hazelwood. She does kind of have this like cheesy writing style that I think you either like it or you don't. And I was really into it kind of in the beginning. I was, getting used to it, and I was like, you know what, this is just gonna be a fun rom-com light, just a good old time. But as the book went on, I wasn't really loving the structure of the plot. One of the main plot points in this book kind of gets finished up about 50% of the way through the book, and then the rest of the book is kind of just like, I don't know, we're sort of in no man's land. I don't really know where things were going. I didn't really like the way that things went after that, and I do really wish that that one plot point had continued. I think that that would have aided in the development of the relationship a little bit better in a way that I would have enjoyed. I do want to say I love Jack. I think he might be my favorite romance hero that Ali Hazelwood has ever written. He has this kind of like quiet confidence about him. He's very caring, very sweet, very smart, just a really, really great hero that you want to root for. And Elsie is fine. She is kind of that typical quirky Ali Hazelwood heroine. One thing that bothered me about her was she does act pretty young, and I believe she's 27 or 28, so she's my age, and some of the things that she said or did, I was just kind of like, girl, come on. She would just act very young and immature. A lot of times she would react a little bit immaturely to Jack. I wasn't crazy about her as a main character. She was like fine, but I found her a little bit grating, I'll be honest. And so overall, I gave this book a 3-star rating. This is the type of book that it was fun, but I think it's pretty forgettable, to be honest with you. I don't think I will ever think about this book again. It didn't really leave much of an impression on me, although I do really, really like this romance hero. But the story itself was like, okay. And then our main character, she was all right. Like, I didn't hate her, but I just found her to be immature. So overall, this is a very average experience, so I'm giving it 3 stars. Kind of a bummer to end the week that way, but it was a very quick read. It's not that long of a book, so I'm not too mad about it. All right, so very quickly, before we wrap up this reading vlog, let's just go through what I read this week's little mini wrap up. So as I just said, I read Love Theoretically, contemporary romance, 3 stars. Didn't wow me, it's fine, it exists. Throne of Glass reread, 3rd time reading this book, had a blast, had so much fun. I love Selena so much. She is my favorite female main character of all time. Loved it, had a wonderful time. The Fiancé Farce, sapphic contemporary romance, so much fun, really lovable characters, very much rom-com vibes, very much early 2000s romance movie, like just so good, so much fun, 4 stars. A Taste of Golden Iron, this is a male-male fantasy romance. I ended up DNFing this at about 100 pages. I do think this is a soft DNF though. I think I will pick this book up at a later date. I liked the characters, but I just don't really think that the plot, it was going in a direction that I wasn't really too sure about and wasn't super crazy about the writing style. And then the book that I started the week with is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. Absolutely stunning, gorgeous book, 5 stars, like a book that I will think about for a very, very long time. I really want to reread this book already. This whole week, I've been thinking about Sam and Sadie. I definitely recommend that you pick this up. It was so freaking good. So that is it, you guys. I have to say, I'm really, really happy that I started this vlog. vlog. Even though I started it on Monday night, I had no idea what was going to happen. I was like, am I even going to get a book read? I ended up reading 4 books this week, which is pretty fantastic. I read about 4 books in 4 days, so really, really happy with that. It is now, as I said, June 30th. I think now it's like 9:50 because I've been recording for 72 hours, but it is about 10 o'clock, Friday, June 30th, last day of the month, and I ended up reading 15 books this month, and that was aided by doing this vlog and reading 4 books this week. So really, really happy that I picked up the camera on Monday and decided to do this. It was fun. It was kind of like a challenge vlog, like how many books can I get read in the last week of the month? And I have to say, I walked away from this week with some books that I'm super, super excited about. So that is going to be it for moi. If you have made it to this point in the video and you wanted to let me know, go ahead and leave the sunshine emoji. Please make sure that you are following me on Instagram and Goodreads. Both are always linked down below. I really appreciate that you watched this video. I hope that you are all having a fantastic day. I love you all so, so much, and I will catch you guys in the next one.